Hello and welcome back to Trails of Cold Steel. Last episode we helped two kids become closer together, and we also protected the what is his name? The photographer Norton. We escorted him back to the village. Alright, wow. This lake is beautiful. It really is. You can see the sunlight glimmering on the water. And the air feels so clean, too. This is Lake Lacrima. The hermit lives in that cabin over there. That is a big-ass cabin. Excellent. We should go see him at once. Looks like Elisa knows him.
How beautiful. Yeah, breathtaking.
Let's ride over here first. Anything interesting? I was just checking over here in case there was a chest or something.
Whoa, whoa!
Okay, apparently that was an invisible wall.
It's my turn.
Seems like there's someone inside. I suppose it must be the man we came to see then. Yeah, I'll bet he just came back from fishing. For a hermit, he doesn't seem to want for much. So, what are we going to do? After entering the cabin, the time of day will advance to evening, and all of the day's field study activities will end. Let's walk away real fast. Cook anything? Nope. Excuse me, is anyone home? It's open. Come on in. Elisa? Excuse us then. Is it your grandpa? Hey, it's good to see you again, sir. Well, if it isn't guys, haven't seen you around for what, half a year now? And little Elisa's here too. Why, I don't think I've seen your face in, must be coming up on 5 years now. Wait, what? Could this be... Grandfather, what are you doing here? Well, I guess that's one way to be introduced, but let me give you a proper welcome. Gwyn Rhineford. I'm Gwyn Rhineford, Elisa's favorite granddad. Pleasure to meet you all, Class 7. Honor to meet you, sir. I'm Rain Schwarzer. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Emma Milstein. Eustace Alberea. It's an honor. A promising group of young folk, if ever there was. But you've sure done a lot of growing in the last 5 years, Elisa. You're taller and bigger. Does this old man's heart good to see how easy on the eyes you've become? He's pervy. Grandfather, please. Well, forget about me. What have you been doing out here all this time? Back when you disappeared from Ruhr, I'd never have believed it if someone told me this is where I'd find you. Do you have any idea how worried I've been? Oh, come now. I send you letters a couple times a year, don't I? And of course, I read all the ones you give to Sharon, too. Still... Have you been here the whole time these past 5 years? Just about. I don't stay year-round, though. I spent about half the year traveling around the continent, seeing friends or visiting the Empire. I see. Mr. Rhineford? Would you mind if I asked how you know so much about our field study? He does raise an excellent point. Almost it seems as though you were expecting us to pay you a visit. Well, it's just a coincidence the truck broke down when it did. But I admit, ever since Irina told me you were coming to the Highlands, I figured I'd see you at some point. You still talk to Mom? Yes, indeed. Though just the bare minimum. That girl's zeal for her work borders on unhealthy. What did I ever do to turn her into such a workaholic? Elisa? Anyway, we're all done with our coffee, so let's head on over to the settlement and have a look at that truck. Just wait outside a bit while I go grab my tools. Oh, actually, I caught a few good-sized trout. Can you take them over to the settlement when you go? Of course. How nice of him. So that's the former chairman of the Rhineford Group. I knew of him by name, but he's a far more light-hearted man than I would have guessed. Indeed, he seems very easygoing. You can say what you really think. You're not going to hurt my feelings or anything. Everyone loves him because he's all laid back and approachable, but mostly he's just capricious and irresponsible. And then, 5 years ago, he just... Elisa? Never mind. Let's get going. As soon as he's ready, we're heading back to the settlement. Alright. Let's wait for him by the garage. Alright. Oh, it's evening now. Gaius? Should we head back to the settlement? Hey Gaius, you're on pretty good terms with my grandpa again. Something like that. We've only known him for a couple years, but all of us in the settlement owe him a lot. Myself included. Okay, we're good to go. Mind if I ride with one of you? Grandfather? You aren't driving? Nah, the engine's been acting up a bit lately, so I'd rather not. Besides, how could I pass up a chance to get to know my granddaughter's classmates a little better? Green, right? Got room for one more up there? Why did he have to pick Green? Better not be giving him any funny ideas. I'm sure that isn't the case. I'd feel a bit more at ease if you focus more on the reins, though. How's Will Sharon doing these days? I heard she recently started working at your dormitory. That's right. I haven't had much time to get to know her, but she seems really skilled at what she does. Oh, she is. Very much so. But more importantly, she's a real cutie. She's always has that lovely, reserved air, but there's a playful side to her too. I wish she'd sign on as my personal maid. That'd be the life. Yeah. But that Emma girl is really nice too. She's got those glasses, the hair you want her to let down, and she's class pres material to boot. There's a smoldering homeroom hottie if I ever saw one. Come on, you know you agree with me. Well, I can't really say that I disagree with you, but if you don't mind my asking, why did you never tell Lisa that you were here? Tell me, Reen. What kind of girl do you see her as? Well, I'd say she's a really hard worker in a great many respects. Oh, I have no doubt of it. She's good-looking, polite, as well-mannered as any noble's daughter, intelligent, and that all comes naturally to her. It's not some persona she forces on herself. Yeah, I'm amazed at how effortless she makes it all seem. And yet, she has a habit of trying to resolve everything without relying on anyone else for support. I'm sure it hasn't escaped the notice of a canny young man like yourself. It does feel like that sometimes, yeah. She's kind, and her sense of duty compels her to always see things through. But she's always keeps everything bottled up, like she never wants to let on to anyone that she needs help with a problem. I'm Elisa R. from Ruhr. It's not like I'm trying to make a big deal out of it or anything. It's just, if everyone knew, it'd make things awkward between us, and I don't want that. I have a feeling the relations between her mother and I caused her to end up that way. Or, to be more specific, the conflict between the two of us. That's why I didn't tell her where I was. But I'll leave it up to her to fill in the details about that. I'm sure that once the two of you are a bit closer, she'll tell you on her own. A bit closer? I have a feeling there's a critical misunderstanding going on here. Oh, is that so? I thought there was a little something going on between you two after seeing your name come up in one of her letters. Oh. Well, we did have that unfortunate accident back at the start of the year. But that's all it was. We eventually got sorted out and nothing's really happened since. An accident, eh? Did you accidentally collide with her on your way to school, causing her to drop the toast she held between her sweet lips? And as the dust cleared, did the two of you find yourselves sprawled on the ground in an unlikely yet heart-racing position? That's a really oddly specific question. Well, I don't know what kind of heart-racing position you're... Oh. Uh, so something really did happen, didn't it? Now, just tell old Gwyn here all about it. I want every last juicy detail. Grandfather, please! That was funny. I like Gwyn.
Hey, isn't that... Ooh, it's those military academy students. I wonder what they're doing all the way out here. Oh well. Looks like things are gonna start getting interesting. Okay, let's get this mission started! Sheesh. Gramps and the others can be so unreasonable sometimes.
Interesting. That night, the people of the settlement held a banquet at the elder's house for us, Gwyn, and Norton. Whew. I don't know what we'd do without you, Gwyn. Here's to you, my friend. And to you. Come on, Lakin. This booze isn't going to drink itself. Yes, yes. I can still hardly believe it. Finding the famous Gwyn Rhineford out in the sticks like this. You know him then? Of course. He seized on the opportunities of the orbital revolution to make Rhineford the industrial powerhouse it is today. And it's only gotten bigger since his daughter took over. The Rhineford Company was originally an arms manufacturer, making their name on firearms and such. They underwent a massive expansion of their lineup and started working on orbital weapons and railway projects. I suppose that's what it must have looked like to the nobility, but the company does business all across the continent, not just domestically. Gwyn has a refreshingly international outlook for an Erebonian businessman. I see. I knew he was a keen man, but I didn't realize he was that famous. The real mystery is why someone would walk away from that in the first place. Some people say he got ill and had no choice but to stand down, but look at him now. He's the picture of health. So maybe there's some truth to that old rumor after all. Oh? What do you mean? Just something I heard a long time ago. No real proof of it, and we at the Imperial Chronicle aren't in the business of printing baseless speculation. Elisa? Oof. I think my eyes were bigger than my stomach. Going to go out and get a little fresh air, okay? Alright. Elisa? Green, Elisa's going out to get some fresh air. Would you mind going and keeping her company? Not at all. But why me? You're the class president and all. You make for better company. No, trust me. I think you're definitely the best man for the job. Well, if you say so. Alright, I'll be back in a little while then. They're really trying to force this Elisa and Reen thing. But I still prefer,
I'm such an idiot. What am I even doing?
I prefer Fee. Personally, I think I just like the badass military type. Wow, would you look at that view? Amazing, isn't it, Elisa? It's so pretty. Come on, you two. We need to get going. We're running behind schedule. Now, let them have their fun. It's not often you have a day off like this. Why not try and relax for once?
Elisa?
Oh, Reen. Well, what are you doing out here? Did you eat too much?
My mouth says no, but my stomach's thinking yes. You doing okay? You seem a bit unsteady there.
Nothing like that. I'm just feeling a little out of it. I'm just going to stay out here for a while and get some fresh air. Then I'll be Whoa! Sorry about that.
See? What did I tell you? We've been riding all day. I'm not surprised you're feeling tired. Riding a horse really takes it out of you.
I guess you're right. Why didn't that occur to me before?
Hey, Elisa, look up at the sky.
Huh?
Oh, that's really pretty.
Wow.
You know, I didn't even notice it last night because we turned in so early. But now that we know, if you're out here to get some air, better to take in the starlight than look at the ground, right?
You're right.
They're really trying to push the Elisa ring.
My father was a technician. 8 years ago, he passed away. My family was never really the same after that. Mother was director of the company back then. She focused all of her energy on making the Rhineford Group even bigger. She used to treasure our family, but after that, it's like she could barely spare a thought for us.
Oh. She did seem like a talented businesswoman when we met her. Well, more than talented to run the Rhineford Group.
What you saw in River Station was just a watered-down version of her normal intensity. We'd be able to have dinner together maybe once every 3 months, and that's being generous. But at least I wasn't alone. Grandfather and Sharon were always there for me.
That's how it was, huh? I guess you've known Sharon for a long time then.
Yeah, my mother hired her about 7 years ago. Being a Rhineford and all, I never had many people I could really call friends when I was young.
Oh, young Elisa looks so cute.
The nobles looked down on me, of course, but the common people treated me like I was different from them, too. At least with my grandfather and Sharon around, I never felt totally alone. Grandfather introduced me to all kinds of different hobbies, like horseback riding and playing the violin. Sharon taught me self-defense and archery, and all the high society etiquette expected of a lady. Meanwhile, my mother kept expanding the company completely against the wishes of my grandfather, the chairman.
I see. Though, hasn't Rhineford always been a big industrial company?
Kind of, yeah. Even back then, they took on projects in all fields, from steel mills to railway construction to guns and tanks. It's not surprising there are people out there who like to call the company a merchant of death. I can't say I completely agree with that side of the company, but I've never felt embarrassed or ashamed about it. But a few years ago, the Rhineford Group finally went too far.
What do you mean?
Those 2 railway guns set up in Gorelia Fortress on the eastern edge of the Empire? You know about those, right?
Oh, we saw
Yeah,
those.
I've heard of them.
We saw those at the very start of the game. They were fired, but we don't know. Well, they seemed like they were fired, but we don't know if that
They're
was true.
supposed to have the longest range of any orbital cannon in the world.
I've only seen their spec sheets, but the destruction they're capable of is terrifying. Erebonia's still fighting with Calvert over Crossbell, and those guns are capable of targeting any point in Crossbell State. In just a couple hours, they could wipe Crossbell City and its 500,000 citizens off the map.
No way. That's way beyond being a weapon of war. More like an instrument of massacre.
I couldn't agree more, and neither could my grandfather, who supervised their construction. Even though my mother was the one who signed off on the project, my grandfather regretted it like the decision was his. As he was hesitating over whether to hand them over to the Imperial Army, my mother betrayed him.
What?
She went behind his back and secured the support of all of Rhineford's major shareholders. Everyone from Ruhr's ruling lord Marquis Ragnar to the top brass of the Imperial Army was on her side. In the face of such overwhelming pressure from all sides, my grandfather was forced to capitulate. He stepped down as chairman, and my mother wasted no time taking his place. That's when my grandfather decided to leave the company entirely. And me. I thought I'd at least have Sharon on my side, but she just did whatever my mother told her to do. It's been 5 years since then already.
Oh. think I get it now. Why she gets under your skin, I mean. It's not so much what your mother did, but how it ended up tearing your family apart.
Yeah. I couldn't believe my mother would betray her own father. I couldn't believe grandfather would take it without fighting back. I couldn't believe Sharon, who'd always supported me, watched it all happen without a word of protest. It really drove it home to me. How big the Rhineford group was now, and how small I was. I hated realizing it had become so large that corporate interests were stronger than family ties. Looking back, I guess that's when I decided I'd leave home and enroll in the academy. Even when I ran, I couldn't go far enough to escape my mother's shadow, or the Rhineford name. Then I come here and find my grandfather happily enjoying a whole new life without a care in the world. When I stepped outside, I was feeling so lost, so frustrated, wondering what I'd been doing all this time. But it's kind of strange, you know? I look up at the stars and it feels like I can escape the gravity of everything. I think I'm finally starting to understand why my grandfather chose to leave it all behind and move out here in the first place.
You really are strong, Elisa. Stronger than you realize. You were finally ready to talk about it. About your family and the company and everything. So, maybe you found what you were looking for to move past that, right?
Maybe you're right. But I don't think I would have been able to if I hadn't enrolled at the academy. Meeting everyone in Class 7, the lacrosse club, I'm a better person for it. Your support has already made a difference. So, thanks. Thanks for worrying about me. And thanks for reminding me to look up, not down.
Anytime. Though, truth be told, I came to check on you because Emma asked me to. Sorry to ruin the moment.
I thought that might be the case. Oh well, there's always next time. It's kind of strange to hear you tell me I'm strong, because I could say the same thing about you. You always seem to get thrust into the role of leader, someone we can count on to keep us on track.
I guess running errands on all my free days is really helping me buckle down. Still, I feel like I've got a long way to go, especially when I keep running from myself.
Huh?
Remember back in Keldic? I said that I came to the academy to find myself. But sometimes, I wonder if maybe I just wanted to get away. From my family, from myself.
Oh. Do you not get along well with your family?
Oh, I do. I'm not their real son, but my parents always loved me like I was. My sister and I, we've had our differences, especially lately, but we still get along pretty well. No, the problem's just with me.
Reen. Still, I suppose the fact you were finally ready to talk about it means that maybe you found what you were looking for to move past that, right? Who'd have thought I'd have the chance to feed you your own good advice so soon? I can't believe you can just say things like that with a straight face. Maybe being on the receiving end every now and then will do you some good.
Alright, you got me. I admit defeat. But yeah, I guess I'm starting to figure things out, in my own way. Maybe enrolling at Thorus was the first thing I'd done right in a long time. I ended up in Class 7, and now all of us are out here like this, spending time together.
Yeah, I like that. I hope the things we learned during our field studies can help us all make a difference in the world. So, wait, all of us?
You two were gone so long that we started to get a little worried.
No way! How long have you been listening?
Still, I suppose the fact that you were finally ready to talk about it means that maybe you found what you were looking for to move past that, right?
Stop! Green, he was the one who said it first. I was just repeating it back to him.
Oh, Lisa, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Honestly, you touched my heart.
I apologize for eavesdropping on you, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad I did.
How did I end up in the middle of this anyway? Fine, if that's how you want to play it. None of you are getting any sleep until you've shared all your most embarrassing secrets.
What? I don't...
You wish.
Seems like you did well.
Honestly, I feel like she helped me more than I helped her. Hey, guys? This is a really beautiful place.
Yeah, ain't it?
Rosetta Arrow.
Ooh, you're moving up in the world. I've got a little reward here for you.
There we go, see? Connecting hearts was +4. And we could have totally missed that. Alright, but we're going to end the episode here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.